It's impossible to imagine modern life without cars. At the same time, every driver can easily remember a couple of incredible situations or curiosities which they had to witness or accidentally participate in. As you can guess, absolutely anything can happen on the road, and none of us can be 100% ready to face the consequences. Nevertheless, cameras and car recorders around the world record thousands of unique cases, and the heroes of these stories instantly become YouTube stars. In our today's episode, we will not talk about accidents and dramatic situations. On the contrary, we will show you the most funny and incredible moments witnessed by random drivers. Many of our videos can easily be called 1 in a million cases. This can happen only once, and only in a certain place and at a certain time. Are you ready to start this journey? Then fasten your seatbelts and look around. It could be a brilliant way to get out of the mud. I think you should not trust this construction company. You have to get out of the situation in all possible ways. What is happening looks more like a joke. The owner of an expensive yacht decided to rely on his insurance package. What could be more terrible than watching your car slowly and confidently go underwater? The ability to be in the right place at the right time is another talent. Everyone has their own guardian angel, and this guy also has a guardian donkey. This video clearly shows that you should not despair ahead of time, and even in the most desperate situation, there is always a way out. If you love of cleanliness to shine, then you should pay attention to this device. At first glance, it's unclear whether the tow truck is too big or the equipment on it is too small. If this guy damages the gate during snow removal, there's no need to worry. He has all the materials at hand to fix them. Manufacturers have not yet created such a family car that could withstand 6 tons of cement. Camels are not only tall, but also proud animals, so it is unlikely that they liked what is happening. Towing with a rope is the most common way to help a car when suddenly broke down. However, it is extremely dangerous to use a motorcycle for this. You should have thought twice before leaving your Porsche in an area where parking is prohibited. That's why they say, don't be penny wise and pound foolish. He saved on the car wash, but he definitely got a fine. From a bird's eye view, this winding road in the Andes between Argentina and Chile looks like a real work of art. When something similar occurs, I am curious about who will be responsible for it. Will the owner of the car get any compensation for the damage? Does the owner of the car not notice that something has gone wrong and his car no longer behaves as before? Often, cars get damaged even when not in motion and without the fault of the owners. It could have been worse, but I would really like to avoid such situations. That's how traffic jams are created on the roads. In many cities, there are problems with parking. As a result, sometimes you have to go to extreme measures. In addition to the appearance and beauty of the convertible, we must not forget about the most obvious drawback. Such an effect can seriously frighten all the surrounding cars. This is the most terrible dream for most drivers because this way the car becomes almost uncontrollable. It would be better to find a trailer for such a load. Will such an upgrade of the car improve its performance, or is it all for the sake of attracting attention to yourself on the roadway? Either the truck has stopped on fresh asphalt, or this is some kind of experiment and quality control of a new road. Maybe the truck driver got tired of this Porsche, which constantly occupies a place here, and he decided to annoy the owner. It seems that the ostrich has finally found someone to race with, choosing an opponent in the form of a car on the road. For the driver of this vehicle, there are no bad roads, there are only poor cars for him. When there are no cars on the roadway at night, each of us wants to enjoy the speed. At the same time, no one promised that it would be a perfectly flat road. If an alien is hidden among us, perhaps it would have chosen this car for itself. This helmet looks a bit strange. Who knows, maybe this guy has improved it to suit his needs, and a small visor protects him from the sun. Irish people believe that you can find a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Can we say that BMW is kind of it? In fact, they still achieved what they wanted, even if not in the way they really imagined. One can see many different things on the road. This girl does not want to waste time on the way, so she pays attention only to her appearance. Having made your choice in favor of a convertible, you have to put up with its shortcomings. That's who exactly believes that nature does not have bad weather. Having fallen in love with your car, it seems to be very difficult for some people to accept the fact that it is no longer the same as it was before, not to mention finding a replacement for it. And this is who gives a lot of energy to his work. He is not just performing his official duties, but he does it with special enthusiasm. The uneven road surface forced the sheep to learn to twerk quickly. It seemed to the drivers that the rules restrict their freedom and are ineffective, so they found their own way because rules were created for breaking them. Drivers often do not like roads in winter, but there is no need to be afraid of snow when you have this level of public service in your city. It should be noted that the driver of this tractor is a real professional. At the same time, the driver of the car is a daredevil. If a man does not get seasick at the end of the trip, I won't be sure that his vestibular apparatus works perfectly. It's obvious that the driver of this car is absolutely indifferent to the issue of safe transportation of dangerous goods. And now we know how to use the money saved on wheels. Maybe it's an advertising company for a well-known supermarket chain. This game of cat and mouse with such nimble scooter drivers can easily end with the failure of the police. Why wouldn't you take advantage of the possibility of a free car wash? If you don't know what to do with an old and faulty car, we have a great yet crazy option for you. This tractor is pretty old and worn out. Now it needs to stretch a little more to get to the destination and get the necessary help. Just take a look at how slowly and confidently the car left its owner and went to the bottom. It looks like these dumpsters got tired of their fate and they left the workplace to start a new life. If the wheels are this size, then what does the car look like? It was a stupid idea to agree to this adventure. To be honest, I thought that he would get stuck there, but I couldn't predict such an outcome. If he is trying to move to a new place of residence, then it'll take him a lot of time to finish it. And for those who love more, this pipe will be a real find. When people make you mad at work and both you and your car have that last nerve cell. I would like to believe that he is going to a scrap metal plant and not to the car wash. It seems that the excavator driver has found an alternative to football with wheels instead of a ball. Such a vehicle can provide a rush of adrenaline and cool emotions. It would be understandable if he shortened the path in this way. In this case, his motives are a mystery. Special equipment usually moves very slowly on the roads, but this heavy machine is an exception. While lifting someone else's car with a jack, they are able to quickly steal one of its parts, and they hurried to sell it to the spare parts market. There are so many personalized details on it that this vehicle has little in common with a motorcycle. Do you think there is a chance that the service station is a few minutes away? Or did the driver just decide not to pay attention to the discomfort in motion? The car carrier and the train couldn't find some free space on the road. At least they were lucky. There were no casualties and minimal damage to several cars. The low speed of the car may have saved the lives of the people who were driving behind. Does it also remind you of a remote-controlled car for kids? However, this one is slightly bigger. Such changes in the car will definitely not improve or make it more functional. This truck is playing with fire. It seems that a little more and it'll lose its cargo. Self-confidence and high expectations from the car will cost him a lot. I wonder what they call such a versatile. Can we call it a bath car? Firefighters taught a harsh lesson and clearly showed why it is forbidden to park in front of fire hydrants in the USA. It's hard to witness a ranch moving right to the roadway while the cowboy is trying to maneuver among the cars. Perhaps this is some kind of socially phobic person who decided to mess with everyone around him. If he went to the forest for firewood, then he achieved his goal, even if it cost him a lot. The wheel of this car got tired of the correct and measured rhythm, so it began to live its own life. Many people who are afraid to drive the car on their own would give a lot for such a customization of the car. Having bought a new car, you always want to test its capabilities. Even an old car can serve for a long time, especially if you improve and update it on a regular basis. When you love to repair cars, no bad weather can stop you. Either he has a lot of driving experience and has performed such a maneuver many times, or he is a real talent. The driver decided not to go around the obstacle, but to go straight ahead. Either this motorcyclist is preparing for Halloween, or he decided to show what inattentive driving can lead to. I wonder for what purpose such a strange customization of this car was made. Perhaps such an umbrella will interfere with road traffic, but this couple doesn't need to worry about wet hair and getting cold. Now you can see how slowly you can leave the parking lot, damage someone else's car, and disappear in an unknown direction. There are places that are simply not designed for large vehicles. Attempts to go there will not be successful and will have consequences. Now this traffic light has become a kind of accessory for a truck. It doesn't look like it's going to be able to disappear anywhere without help anytime soon. In a sense, we can say that the tree was lucky. Before it was disposed of, it will have time to see the world outside the place where it has grown all its life. Some people are very reluctant to part with their favorite things, even though their days are already over. How do you pack your luggage when going on a trip? If you do the same, don't be surprised that someone will call it garbage. And what would you call a trip in such a car? Is it courage or madness? This trailer got tired of dragging behind the car and decided to find its own way. As it turned out, the driver set an impossible goal for himself. When he failed to park after several attempts, he forgot about his idea and continued to move. Boasting about the car and his dexterous driving skills, it was worth being careful not to get into such a ridiculous situation. The probability that everything would happen exactly like this and the person who shot the video would not suffer was not that great. This is another example of the driver's steadfastness. It seems that nothing can stop him from continuing to move. The entire idea of moving with such a load was reckless, which was only confirmed on the way. The owners of these cars will soon find out that their luck has turned away from them, and I'm sure that their insurance company won't like it either. Such videos should be shown more often to fans of this driving style. Driving a truck is quite difficult, especially on the streets of the city. It should be noted that this driver approached the maneuvers on this part of the way very creatively, though quite unsafely. Parking properly is an art. It is important to remember all the nuances to avoid any problems. Therefore, some people avoid it altogether after long attempts. It's hard to witness something like this, so those who witness it do not even know how to react and how to help. Some people enjoy high speeds, while others prefer fire and sparkles. Someone backed up too much and found himself in a situation where he had to seek help. The trick failed, but the motorcycle was flying in a very spectacular way. I've noticed that the man was not injured, so we can say that everything ended well. Most likely, this vehicle is similar to a bicycle and is the result of some unsuccessful experiment. During rush hour in the city, motorists will be very indignant because of what happened to this truck. That's how people get new fears. It's good that the window was closed. Even a vehicle can give a helping hand to a neighbor in difficult moments. It is curious how stable such a design is. The owner of this car decided to bring a little joy to other drivers on the road and installed a soap bubble generator that works from the exhaust gas flow of the car. The truck driver decided to show who is the boss by making a risky overtake. It seems that this car is going to pick up really bulky cargo. This huge flag looks bright and attracts attention, but still, it was necessary to make a choice in favor of a smaller option. This motorist failed to hide the indisputable evidence of the incident. Smart people know how to take advantage of every opportunity. Some mistakes are very expensive. No one was injured this time, but material damage was still inflicted. What was the idea of this person blocking the road with his car to a fire truck? All the driver could say in his own defense was that he didn't hear anything because of the loud music in the cabin. The insurance company turned into the gas station administration to get a video confirmation and to blame someone else for the accident. However, the culprit of the celebration is really obvious here. It seems that a new character will appear in the next part of Transformers. When you choose a cheaper car wash, there is a high probability that you will have to choose a new service station as well. What do you know about pain? It seems that there is absolutely no chance that the car will acquire its original appearance. When you go home from work on Friday evening in anticipation of the weekend. The last few years have been so full of various unexpected surprises, I won't be surprised that these vehicles will replace our usual transport in a couple of years. There are people who love their cars so much that they are ready to invest more and more money just to surprise others, although it would be cheaper to buy a new car. This man is definitely lucky. It seems that his car even understands something.
O kurwa, ale się... Ty, złamane jest to.
Small pranks lead to big consequences. It looks very funny, don't you agree? When you are kind and don't know how to say no, people will literally sit on your head. I think the structure could withstand another couple of tons of hay. You don't need to try to protect your car in such a way. I've never seen anyone so happy about parking before. Someone unsuccessfully decided to shorten the path. They almost managed to overcome these steps, but the car still could not get on the road. This car attracts enough attention, but the driver thinks otherwise and shows what he is capable of and more. Sometimes a mobile home takes on a literally homely appearance. It seems that the man behind the wheel has forgotten that his car is not a submarine, and you should not expect miracles from it. This is the dream of many aspiring drivers who are afraid to refuel their cars on their own. I wonder what kind of traffic rules this car violated. The pavement on this bridge is not the best, but what else to expect if the road here is not paved at all? Someone is ready to test their car for strength, while others are absolutely not ready to risk. Filming often takes place in extreme conditions. Sometimes, they even need more than one take. When you buy a big car, you have a hope that everything will fit into it now. When you decided to prove to your friends that you bought cool summer tires. The ability to balance is in this man's blood. He's on a bicycle and on ice at the same time. The question of the safety of such car delivery remains open. When fireworks seem to be too banal, we can move to a more serious fire show. Nothing can stop this driver, and thanks to his stubbornness, he became the star of this evening. I wonder what result he expected. You've got what you were fighting for. The man took the phrase about observing personal boundaries too literally. Dirt is not a problem for an SUV, especially if you are driving with the windows open. And this is what it means to believe in your strength and the ability of the vehicle to overcome any obstacles. He was lucky to feel like a passenger of a very unusual vehicle, to ride it, and even to return to childhood at the same time. He will definitely need to step on the gas if he wants to escape from the secret base where it was still being investigated and stored. Can't this driver finally find the most appropriate wheel? This car resembles a zombie. It shall go directly to the waste dump, but it's still on the road. I have to highlight the fact that he had chosen the early hours when there was no traffic. Otherwise, there would have been traffic jams or a serious conflict. I wonder if nothing bothers the driver of this car, or is this how he tests his psychic abilities? These are not ordinary firefighters. Perhaps they took some illusionist courses on performing tricks. The mobile home is becoming more and more literal. When jumping with a parachute, it should be remembered that you can't choose a place for landing. He's just very lucky that it's not a highway. Very often, it is difficult to park a car near the beach. Therefore, people can get dry after swimming a lot by walking along a beautiful road surrounded by greenery. The driver, who decided to squeeze through one of the narrow streets, simply did not calculate the dimensions of his rather big car and got stuck. Such an exhaust pipe may attract attention and look spectacular, but it is unlikely that it copes well with this task. With such a neighbor, it would not be boring to stand in traffic. The beautiful flight of this aircraft ended with a very unsuccessful emergency landing on the car. This motorist wants to drive as close to the sea as possible. He is ready to do it at any cost. There are car owners who love their cars no matter what. Modernization is slowly spreading around the world, and you can find this type of sweeping machine. Like any other vehicle, the excavator should be silenced before leaving it. Otherwise, it may start moving on its own. In this case, it's not the convertible itself that attracts attention, but the pet in it. The driver of this car is an incredibly responsible person. No adverse weather conditions will prevent him from getting to work. Can you imagine that your SUV is stuck in the mud and you have no idea how to act in such cases? It remains only to push out your iron horse by using all available means. We always recommend people cross the road at a pedestrian crossing. As you can guess, it's really hard to jump aside, and it's extremely inconvenient to just walk on such high heels. It is unlikely that wipes for cleaning car glass can deal with it. It seems that Mother Nature was very displeased with this car. There are cars that clean the roads, but there are others that you definitely don't want to follow. The driver refueled the car and left, taking a souvenir in the form of a hose and pistol. Such cones can restore their shape, they are perfect for roads, and will not leave scratches on transport. I hope that the guy is still trying to save the situation and not the other way around. The upcoming problems was obvious from the first second. It'll be a great surprise for the driver when he discovers that there is already nothing to look at. And this is the case when the car is taken in an unknown direction for no reason, and the owner has no choice but to desperately run after it. The driver got out of the car while breaking the balance. It's good that at least no one was injured. The truck turned into a vending machine for free protein drinks. When the threat seemed to have passed and it was not just stuck in the sand and mud, a new problem appeared. There's no place to hide from the rain in this car. This amount of water can lead to the transformation of the car into junk. All electrical components and the engine can be seriously damaged. It seems like someone wanted to upgrade the car on their own. The glass of this car no longer wants to stay in the frame, so it decided to move a bit. SUVs are capable of conquering peaks and overcoming pits, but there is a limit to everything. Although the damage to the car during parking is usually not as serious as in accidents, they are troublesome and frustrating. I am curious about the exciting situation that happened to this girl and how she lost the door. When you start thinking that the day can't get any worse, fate immediately proves the opposite. Even if you spend most of your life driving on the road, it is rare to see such unusual cargo. It's a very compact vehicle, but you can't get very far on it. Only an experienced driver can perform any maneuvers in such a small space on a truck. And this is a unique way of tuning a car. It is difficult to remain unnoticed on the road with it. The helmet can not only provide security, but also perform many other functions. When you've been saving up for your first car for 10 years, so you even wash your car only with your hands.